Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. So we are live. Yeah.
Mhm.
So as usual, just want to welcome each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in to the DeBrief TV show. Sorry for coming just a little bit later than expected, but we are always happy to be here with each and every one of you. And we just want to say a blessed good night to everyone. This time, as usual, we would like to take the time out to definitely share the link with those who are waiting for us to start this show. It's always an anticipated show. But we just also want to just publicly thank those that have been keeping us going, and we are seeing the fruits of it. We're reaching up to 20,000 people per week. Our engagement is pretty strong, and we are growing as a young show. Today's show to be interesting one. So we want you to stay locked, want you to stay on. Just give us again that few seconds that we need to share. We also ask that while you are here on the show, that you also share the show as well to your friends, to your family. We're going to have a very interesting discussion around bullying today. So we would like all the support in sharing it, because this is a very serious topic that needs to be discussed in this country. We know with the debrief, we always tend to bring some very enlightening conversation to the forum. So we want you to be involved. We want you to speak your mind. We want you to also call in if you have any questions. But we're going to have a very robust discussion as it relates to bullying in our schools, bullying in our neighborhoods, and bullying in our society. But just to go above and beyond a little bit of what we see, we're going to bring some realistic point of views today. Some persons that would have been affected in situations where their children were involved, and we see the recent publication of a young man. So we want to be able to speak to all of that. We're asking you to share the link, join in the discussion, bring your questions, bring your queries. Let us discuss bullying, because I think it's a topic that for too long we've been saying that it needs to be addressed. But we have literally seen little to nothing happening around it. We know that there are people out there, like our guests here, and there are other organizations that have taken on the burden of tackling the whole bullying thing within the schools and within the communities. And we would have seen marches now, and I think that we can probably finally say that something is being done, because these young activists are coming out and they're speaking out. And I personally would know, as an activist myself, how coming out and saying something, especially not from just a governmental aspect, but really from our perspective as a citizen of this country, saying something, I find that it is much more impactful than when we tend to leave it at the feet of government to do something. Our voice could be stretched a little further. We're not going to hone in on what we have to say. We're not going to be scripted. We're going to say what we have to say. So tonight discussion is going to be somewhat interesting, and we want you to lock on. We want you to share. We want you to like. You have me, your moderator, Kimar Safri. On my right, you have the Manny Small. I keep thinking about you, the Manny boss. And then we have Simon Allen.
All right.
And to my far left, we have Jermaine Beckford.
That's right.
Good evening.
And then Kimar Stewart, who is just off for a little bit. He'll be on shortly. And then we have a specially invited guest, and yes, a female guest.
That's right, boy. A very beautiful female guest.
Female
A rose
guest.
among the thorns? Or a thorn? Or among the roses? Which is
What's saying she amongst you?
So we have a guest, a female guest rather, but a very interesting guest to discuss this whole topic of bullying, a very important one. And we have none other than Lisa Neblett. We're gonna have the man just give you an overview of who Lisa is, so we can get an idea, and then she will take it from there. We will go into the full discussion. Over to you, Damani.
Okay, hi, good evening. Lisa is a mother, entrepreneur, philanthropist. She became as transparent as can be on parenting from October 2009, when she first appeared in the Easy magazine as a first-time mother, speaking on the absence of a father during pregnancy and for her son. Lisa has always been an advocate for a better way of life and health, especially after being diagnosed with acute costochondritis due from stress in 2013. Many may know her from being behind the scenes in training, promoting, and choreography of individuals in pageants across Barbados. Many may also know her from being a part of building the infrastructure of the first offshore medical facility in Barbados, Barbados American University of Barbados, as an associate degree director of admissions. Many may also know her from her business, Homework Barbados, which she started in July 2016. To this date, she owns and operates, which was birthed through her battle with costochondritis. This pushed her passion to serve people with anxiety, stress, depression, and poor diet, which is the cause of many ailments we see today, such as hypertension, diabetes, sinusitis, and arthritis. Homework Barbados is a fully online homeopathic or herbal store that connects Barbados to products from India, Germany, Sri Lanka, England, and United States of America at their fingertips. With an academic background in physical education, psychology, entrepreneurial management, radio broadcasting, and natural health sciences. What I can add is that Lisa also support Men's Empowerment Network support, and today we'll be talking about bullying in schools, her take on it, the views of the children, because she lately was a victim, whereas her son was bullied. He was dropped on his back by another student, and I give way to her to explain the situation.
How old is your son?
Well, my son is now 11 years old. Good evening, Chad.
Yeah, welcome, Lisa.
Yes, please, and thank you for having me on the show. So my journey with bullying in school began in 2018, in November 2018, where I was late for my son, and I had gotten him after 3 o'clock, where should usually be parked outside to get him. But I was there that particular evening because my mom had got in an accident. So on arriving, I was called to the office, and I was told that my son's hand was broken. So by another child. So obviously having my mother in an accident earlier in the day, they didn't know how to deal with my son with the hand broken. They just whisked off to get him sorted out. And in the process of that, it took me 3 weeks to get a name and a number for the parent. Because here is, I'm asking the school, what can be done to help me with my son? I'm being told, because I picked him up after 3 o'clock and the incident happened after 3 o'clock, the school cannot get involved.
But it happened on the school compound.
It happened on the school compound, but all they can do is to provide me with a name and a number. I will have to contact the parent myself.
So this is the name and number of the student that actually...
The parent.
The student that would
have accosted my child.
I have one question. What times
hold on.
Teachers mind, sorry.
Just let you finish and then we'll ask the question so that I can take the story.
Right, so as I said, it took me 3 weeks to get this information. So when I'm now calling the parent, a parent had basically a day in front, then knew about the situation. So what I'm going to get is, they was playing. Okay, they were playing, but my hand shall get broken. Even if, as I always say, if you put half and half, you put the shovel, I put the gravel, something. Oh, well, they was playing, so I was told I don't have to give you nothing. Okay.
Excuse me?
All right, I said, no problem, Carmen. So I, again, trying to, and this happened over the Christmas vacation, now, because the incident happened close to the end of term. So the Christmas vacation, now, I am now trying to battle with this woman to try to get some sort of assistance. Then they can hear the whole drama story behind there, which I ain't interested in, because my thing is, everybody else come with this thing of, I'm the only the parent for my son. That's what I'm hearing. And I'm going, well, me too. Since we want to go there. So me too. So then the following year in 2019, March 2019, he was trying to retrieve a ball for a child, and then he tripped over the tree root. They have a big mango tree at the school. So he tripped over the tree root and hit another rock, and he broke his hand again. So my son had to go to surgery twice to get a steel plate put into his hand, because this left hand now has not only fractured, no completely broken, so I had to get a metal plate put into his hand. So he had to go to surgery, and then he had to go back to surgery again in October to take the plate out of his hand. All right. Following year in February, he comes home. I don't feel good. I can't go to school. I'm dizzy. Why are you dizzy? A child came from behind and lift him up and drop him on his back twice. I said, why did you not? And before I can say that, it was like, yeah, he tried to protect his left hand.
This
So
is
most
secondary school?
this is in primary school.
Primary school.
This is not secondary. It's even over 11. This is under 11. So this is why we are out there marching. So this is happening. So this happened to my son now. Now I don't know at this point. Any parent could, I guess, identify what I'm saying. Here is my child has broken hand twice. The bill was not easy because the second bill was $22,000.
2200. Whoa.
For 2 surgeries of steel plate, and my son is allergic to antibiotics, all painkillers, and penicillin. So here is a child that can't use any of pharmaceutical information, has to now feel everything that is going on. So I'm at my wit's end. I am told, when I go back to the school, I'm told, carry your son to the polyclinic to get an assessment due. Okay, carry the child to get before that it was why didn't he come to us and say something? Why did he go home and come to you? Well, probably if he had went to you before and get some sort of satisfaction, he would have gone.
That's right.
So he's come home to me. Okay, fine. Now we're gone to the doctor there. The doctor said, well, he has soft tissue damage on his back. So he would request that he goes and get physiotherapy.
Yeah, okay.
Because here it is now, he has, even adults, if you have a back issue, you know you can't sit for a period of time. And now this happened the exact time around knapsack. So here I am trying to figure out where to go. So I gone to the ministry, I gone to the police, I gone back to the school as well. I am told I'm then told why you didn't wait. Why you didn't wait on me until I get the information and everything? And I'm going like, wait on what? The last time that something happened to my son, it took y'all 3 weeks to give me the information, and the parent did not know. So I decided, because I knew the parent before, I worked with her before, I can't call. I gone now and call. Parent got one attitude. How you get? And I talking to her, so camera cool. How you get my number? I don't have to talk to you. Bam! Putting the phone in my ears. I said, okay. So anybody who knows Lisa or Neblett, I can call back. So I called back and she declined the call. I left the message on her phone. She could tell anybody this. And I tell her straight, if it takes me to my grave, I am going to make sure you pay for my child and everything I have through your son and you. Because what he did was wrong. Because here it is. And I'm going to go back a little bit. When I was at the school making the complaint, the same said child ended up in the office with me, along with the senior teacher and the principal. And the principal asked, why it is or what happened. The boy told me he didn't see my child pick you up.
He just see each other pick you up?
They don't play together. They don't speak. He just see my son and drop it in the ground.
He see this as a fun thing?
Well, I figured it was WWE at that school. So here it is, your child dropped my son in the ground. He has soft tissue damage. The teacher is telling me no. I'm saying to the principal, my child cannot sit down in that chair for that long period of time. I have to go to Carib Rehab and go and buy. I had to go buy an orthopedic chair, cushion for myself in my office. So here it is. I know the same cushion is going to cost $220. Oh no! Don't go and expense yourself. So she bought a cushion from home, and which was nice of her, my baby. I ain't getting that for her. But they know my child has to collect this cushion on mornings, to go and sit down in a class, to go and drop out this cushion at evening, and this is going on continuously until the COVID-19 come. Which is when the school has shut down. So when Miss Honorable Santi Bradshaw said that there will be shutting down the school, I was the first body in the class chat saying the school shuts. So I wasn't I was the one to say, I'm glad I was able to cover my child the best way that I can. Because
this is a really sad story.
It is, but the thing is that we have to get to a point where, because everybody says, well, if I had my child, well, no. It can't. It is.
But sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. If you're
yes, please go ahead.
A couple of things I observed in what you're saying with regards to the whole process. It is clear that But we know that after school there's still supposed to be some kind of after school supervision for at least an hour or so after school. If school finishes at 3, some kind of teaching staff should be there to monitor the playground till about 4 o'clock or just so. That's usually what happens in schools. It's usually a teacher or a person that is assigned just during lunchtime as well as after school on late duty or lunchtime duty to just supervise the children to watch what is happening. So I am not too sure if that was the case at the particular school you're talking about. The next thing too is that
let me add, because I'm speaking from a perspective as a teacher as well. So he's bringing another aspect to it. Go ahead, sir.
I have a question. Actually, when you finish.
Right. So the whole issue with the principal and reporting the incident, it is not enough just to say, well, hey, the incident happened after school and no one was there, so it's not in our jurisdiction. That's not true, because it still happened on the school compound and it happened by another student at the school. So it should have been addressed. So the first thing is that when you address the principal or whoever that is there, the next thing should be a parent conference where the parents meet and they talk and discuss the way forward.
But that's the thing. None of my situations I can look at tell anybody was I called in with a meeting with the other parent to discuss anything. And that is one thing that I really, and when I went to both the ministry and mainly the police, they said, why weren't you speaking to the parent one-on-one? And they said, you just do that?
Yes.
I didn't even know.
Yes, that's what you do.
And this is why I'm coming out and say, listen, this happened to me. I don't want this to happen to another parent, because it's not easy.
True.
Mentally, financially, spiritually, this thing will break you, especially when you see your child there in pain, and you cannot say, let me touch you, and then the pain come through my skin or something. I can't do anything. I didn't bring a child into this world for you to brag up.
True. As you sure, what is on your shirt? What does your shirt say? You want a shirt?
Yeah, sure. My shirt says, and they marked, if anybody want to know who that body was in the front on Sunday in the protest, it was me. My child is not your child's punching bag.
It's a very powerful statement.
Very powerful statement.
And you would have seen at the back of everybody's shirts, my child is no punching bag. And that's where we have to get to the point that parents need to start listening more to their children and giving their children opportunities to vent at home. Not in public, in our society, but at home. If you go ahead, you want to say something?
No, I actually want to ask Simon, as a teacher, what times are teachers mandated to actually work until on a daily basis?
Well, teachers usually get to school even before the school starts. We're supposed to be there close to an hour or at least 40 minutes before they start school.
How about after school?
Right, after school, with secondary schools it might be a little different. There's always a late duty, which will run like an hour after school. And then after that too, I understand that primary schools, usually teachers will call parents to say, hey, we're here with your son or your daughter. Are you coming to collect the child? Because the thing about it is that you have the whole register there. You have all the contact information.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too. It's important that parents, if you change your cell phone number during the term, let the school know. Because you will have incidences where the school is trying to reach mommy or daddy. They can't reach you because you changed your cell phone number, or you might have changed jobs or your address.
But let me go back to the American system of doing business. And I always go and reference the American system. I like it. That until the last child leave, somebody has to remain.
Yeah, somebody's
and because the teacher, whether or not that teacher has to be the one to drive home the student to find out, because then you could pass it on to school services and they will take it from there. But at least the child is safe home. If the parent might be running late, but we can see it from the movies. If a child is there, the teacher is sitting on the step waiting. Yes, you can address the matter to why the parent was late, or why this or why that. But I believe that as long as a student is on the compound and has not yet left the compound of the school, even if that child was raped on the compound or from outside, beaten from outside, that child is the responsibility of the thing. Because remember years ago, they always used to tell us when I was going to school that until we get one, that coffee close is ministry one.
That's why
on the street. A question I want to ask, because I take my son to the government day nursery, and they have a rule in place that if by 5:30 on evenings, and I don't come and collect my child, they said to me very frankly and upfront from day one, first time we get a blight, second time is a warning, third time you will collect your child from the police station. So what I want to, because based on what you just said, until the last child leaves.
So you got to the school what time? Like you said after 3?
But wait,
After 3, again,
that's
like we're
early.
close to 4. No,
That's
like
early.
close to 4.
That's the
At the
early.
time I had gone there.
Wait,
Sasha is saying that yes, we have a system in the New York, and I love it. Sasha, if you could explain a little bit more on
But that's
on
actually
the
Walker.
yeah Walker, just give me a little bit
Sasha.
more of how the system is like, so we can read it out. Yeah. But regardless, I don't necessarily agree so much with whether you take this child to a police station or not. And yes, there's a warning system there, but I just see the fact that as long as the child is on the compound, that you must take. So I'm not getting into that aspect yet. What I think we have to look at it and trashing it out that as long as a child
Somebody has to take
is at the
responsibility.
school, it is the responsibility until they are. Deal with the parent afterward, because the child is not the child is not faulted by why the parent didn't pick you up or she up.
Suppose our parent decides to turn up at 8 o'clock at night.
I don't care what time. The point is your responsibility
child?
is for each for her them
I
whatever.
don't think no child will be out of school at 8 o'clock in the time.
But
But no,
Your child may not.
But remember what.
I'm not saying my child, because at the end of the day, although I know what you said, because I had daughters in the system as well.
You have daughters.
I had.
Oh.
So when they said
Oh, Lord,
when
yeah.
they said
You younger than me, so I know how about daughters.
That don't mean the man is kicking better than you. It does not mean that the man soldiers ain't working.
Wow.
Oh,
But he ain't many.
when you said that 5:30 and they would take the child to
Yeah.
the decision, that's only what they said, but it's not necessarily what they would do.
But they actually do it.
Because although they can do it, if in law, they usually will call you a couple of times to see if someone can cover the
But that's
child.
why it's
That's a neglect.
Yeah, and to go to the port at 8 o'clock in the time, I can't see that happening because, well, as for West Terrace Primary School, I can speak about. Usually, let's say the principal is there or other teachers, they would probably wait until the parent come for the child or call, unless it's a really bad situation.
I can tell you about my son's school because I make a mistake and left me there at a time. I made a mistake and leave my son at school for that. Well, not make a mistake. I think we had a misunderstanding between me and
Miscommunication.
miscommunication. So I think anybody picking at each other didn't know I had to pick at each
That's
other.
exactly how kids
And
is
when I
that.
got there, the principal was there,
Okay.
and it didn't. I probably got there like after 7 or so.
What?
Yeah, but the principal. No, but the thing is, the principal was there. But no,
That's not your
I
point.
think it just goes to show.
principal.
He really gone
But no,
hard, though.
as I said, it was not intentional.
Right, honestly.
So at the end of the day, what we could have seen there, right, is that these principals show the level of responsibility.
Yes.
Whether or not the principal wanted to drag me up or deal with me rough after, I had no problem. But I could have explained myself to say it was clearly a misunderstanding. No, the point or the essence in it is that the responsibility, the teacher took the responsibility by covering my child until I get there.
Yeah, right.
And anything that would have happened would have been at her responsibility till I got there. Whether or not the court wanted to drag me off to prison after, I'm just saying
Yeah, that's it.
that
Teacher, the
these
school,
things
school.
are, when you commit to these jobs, it comes with flaws. It
Yeah,
comes with pros and cons.
Cons, yeah.
So the pros and cons may be a neglected thing. And I said on school boards, I understand that you have a school where teachers, parents, are not coming for the children at time, but there's twofold. There's reasons. Some of them are wordless behaviors,
Yeah.
but others is
Shit,
genuine
words.
word,
Whatever
this
you
and
got,
that.
it's a lot
So
different.
if we just look at the fact that as long as the child remains the property of the school, because as I said when I was going to
Well, not
school,
property, but the ward.
the ward
Ward,
property, yeah. But when I was going to school and I used to do basketball, even though they may let me play, you understand? I say no want me to bench. On my way home, I was still the property of the school.
Right, because
So
the
it-
ward of the
it-
school.
No, why you can call it ward
Ward
property, whatever you want, man. You have to
You
cover.
were part
But
of the
I
school.
was,
Yes.
I was in school one until I took off that
Okay.
that
That
uniform,
uniform,
and
right.
so even if you go say on the block and you go in school uniform,
Oh,
you
Lord.
still belong to the
Sorry,
school.
that's just-
So just show the
I understand,
responsibility
yeah.
there.
So my other question now is this. So your child's hand got broken at school. This happened after school. So no one took the child straight to the. I mean the polyclinic is just there.
No.
So
The
nobody-
first thing,
anybody
but my
happens?
whole thing is that if something
No.
happens to the child, or the
Anybody
way now you
happens?
call the parent, you say, hey look, your child got an incident. the hand is broken, we are on our way to the hospital.
But you
we are
don't
on
have
our
your
way
hand broken
to the
No,
polyclinic.
because-
the doctor says.
yeah,
Exactly.
no,
I know that's law.
Funny. Even
But
if
no,
you say that you
in
got
schools,
injured.
as in school, I understand now they're not allowed to touch really.
But
your
one of
child.
the things I find, I have a friend, she's a nurse at one of the private schools, and I find it strange that the secondary schools doesn't have a nurse at the school. But I know in this particular private school,
They have a nurse. Yeah.
they have a nurse.
Majority of them.
Majority. So
Yeah.
before I get back to you, Lisa, Simon Reed, Sanshia Walker, we had asked her to just give us an idea on how the American system is.
Right, so Sancho is saying here, this is just one of the policies of the middle school here in Howard Beach, Seymour. Let me read it. When the parent guardian is late, contact the parent guardian at the number on the child's file card. If contact with the parent guardian is not established, call the emergency contacts on the child's file card and make arrangements for the child to be picked up. Contact the supervisor or the designate in the event that the parent's guardian's emergency contacts are not available, and it is 7 p.m. Contact the appropriate Children's Aid Society and follow their instructions. Under no circumstances is the staff to remove the children from the center. If the parent guardian is repetitively late, staff will notify the supervisor designate, who will meet with the parents' guardians regarding the situation.
Go down to the last comment she just posted.
It is a consistent practice of the parents.
If it is.
If the parents and if it is a consistent practice of the parents and nothing changes with the contact information, social workers, school counselors, and then the American Child ACS is called.
Okay. Thank you for that there.
Thanks, Sancho.
So let me, as I said, we understand that, and I think that many things that what failed us in our country is systems.
Yes, a lot.
Systems,
This is it, yeah.
protocols,
And that work.
Work.
Yeah, so I think that's why you would always find parents like yourself having to be in situations like this. And then it is, what do you do? Who do you go to?
Yeah,
You know-
it's one big circle, not the gossip, but it's one. Not only who do you go to down, is also then the duration of time it takes to get to a
Like a court
conclusion.
system.
That's it.
I think that's what it is. It's the duration
No
of
closure.
time. There's no closure. And they have too many parents out there who do not have closure with incidences, who have to go and rely on family and friends and support fundraisers and everything to help.
But the ministry help you with your bills, with your medical bills?
No. You know, I know how to, as a
Seek compensation.
I know how to seek comp, which I've done, which I have put in the necessary of which I have request, which is the letter, what happened, the receipts. So now I have been waiting since last year, October, on a response
From the ministry.
from the ministry, of which I did too, go there and follow up and find out what is going on. So they did tell me that it's in process and stuff like that. So I am not one to sit back and wait. I am going to ask, and that's the thing, anger gets you nowhere. If I was one of those parents that was, and
Kill and cure.
yeah, exactly, because as I was saying before we started the live, underneath this whole cuteness and this wig, there is an idiot that is ready to go and fight for her children hands on. But
I don't
at
think
the end of
everybody here will be saying,
Well,
we go the accession to the wig
Exactly.
and the cuteness, but we
Exactly.
won't fight.
Exactly. Go for your
Speak for
children.
yourself.
But at the end of the day, you don't want to go and fight for your children
True.
and then put yourself in a hole that you cannot provide for them.
But what I'm saying, because not only from the teaching perspective, but I do my master's in disaster management, emergency planning, and the whole aspect of safer schools is really getting a lot of discussion around the world in North America, since you have a lot of school shootings and so on. So I think that the Ministry of Education, along with the school boards and BAPs, meaning with the principals, have to look at systems in place, whether it's a community nurse or whatever, being able to assist when there's a situation where a child is injured at the school.
Yeah.
I think that we may have a sick day at a school and so on, but
A lie down
eventually, well, a lie down there, as you would call, but eventually, as we move forward in society,
put my
we're
thought
going to have
in
to have
this, boy.
a nurse nurses stationed at a school.
Yeah.
Even if not for the full period of the day, but at least some kind of nurse, even if
Yes.
you're just training nurses to give them the experience of dealing with
Yeah,
children
maybe
and so
from the
on.
university or the medical schools that we have
I
all
think-
around.
Yeah.
that's-
and-
I would recommend that to the
But
Ministry of Education.
not only that, we need to go we gotta go and get behind dirt.
That's
You
right.
see, we're dealing with the children. But here I have explained my issue with the children touching my child. But here it is the parents. The parents. Like I say again, the parents who are in charge of the children have none themselves. So as in the educational system, we are, as I said, we are looking at each other, but we need to look at where or how we can help in society where the children are coming from. We do not have a village, we have a village. Everything now is for social media,
Correct.
for likes and comments. No, your child is good in gear and the bubbles and the balls and everything. I have no manners.
Correct.
Lisa, I want to question. Do you believe, because you have been through it, do you believe that children who commit offenses, that the parents themselves should be charged?
That is a ticklish one, as it was.
I would say yes.
But you see, hold on, let me go there. I can go there. No, you have.
Let me hear what
They
you're saying.
have and through this whole process, I always say the word privilege. I was really privileged to speak to parents who have had children in the system, the court system, with the government industrial school, who
That's
would have
right.
been
That's right.
doing offenses.
Before. Sorry, Jimmy.
Oh, and who have been late, and who children who has been in offenses.
Turn this way.
No, you may have a child. You may have as I say, you may have a child who is doing all of these offenses. Here you may have one parent who is behind this child, who is doing the counseling, who is running from pillar to post to try to help this child. Maybe you have another one just doing nothing. And a lot of these children are acting out of hurt and anger, you know.
Right. But you see, one of the things, I don't want to jump in here, too. Sorry to be.
But there's your rules. There you are. Feel
Yeah. There we go.
So many things coming.
But I want that's how we finish.
Yeah, because a school is supposed to be a safe environment for children and for teachers and for staff and everything.
Everybody.
So we know that. But I think that what is important is that the principal and if there's a board of management at the school,
Which is
they're the ones
secondary
that got
school.
right, that's secondary school, but
Oh, yeah,
primary
okay.
may not have it.
Yeah.
That is where they have to set the tone and to allow parents to understand that your child comes to school here, but you don't own the school, you don't run the school, and if something happens at the school, we all come together and we try to solve it. And that's it, because all the guidance and all the help and the assistance that children will get will most likely come from the school, in the school environment. And it's important that the lessons about responsibility, honesty, hard work, and seeking forgiveness and resolving conflict, because we looked at what happened, but what's important to understand is the mindset of the child that would have accosted your son.
Yeah.
What was the child thinking? Did the child come to school with an issue, or was it a grievance the child had? Or was it destined as fun? And the whole thing about pranks, because in America, this whole issue of pranks. We saw videos where a whole school was shut down because of firecrackers, because the firecrackers were thrown in the hallway and it sounded like gunshots. So total lockdown of the school and so on. So I think that we have to, as you said, investigate, dig it down, drill down to find out what's going on
But
in the minds of the
so we
children.
got two issues. I just want to go back on one thing I was saying. I think that the school should have some financial system in place or some agreement with the hospital or FMH
private.
that if your child's hand is broken, you could carry the child there or whatever, and they'll send you bill to ministry. So to just to safeguard you having to pull that money you don't have.
Immediately,
You
but
want
you
to
can
hear
have a
something?
system,
But
a
if
payment
the-
system.
But hold
Yeah.
on. But if the wait, hold on.
I just want to jump back,
But if the
let me
ministry can't, but if parents right now got get paid the school printing paper,
Oh shoot.
you really want to get it?
No, that may be the school, but the direct
Besides the point.
ministry, which I understand, but the direct ministry, which is which has the overarching control of the school.
But that's the
board.
ministry.
No, some schools, based on the board, some schools operate independently and have certain stuff. What I'm just saying, all underneath the
But they
ministry.
still have to get a subvention from ministry.
I tell you it from a board perspective.
Yeah,
They
that's
do
what
have, they do. Private schools all fall underneath the ministry, not underneath any board control. Secondary schools are different because they have budget, they can raise money, they have
Right.
different ways of income. Now, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is the ministry should have something in place, I believe, in 21st century, an agreement with medical,
It's true.
certain medical, that if you, because here's what, if I go to, you try and tell me if my child break, no. And I go to a medical doctor and I don't have $500 for something that happened on a school compound that my child he gonna remain in pain till somebody it should not be so.
But even goes further than that. She
So-
said that you came and you found your son with a broken hand at
Yeah,
school.
That's cool.
I drove when I got there. I'm looking for my son. I was
Oh,
told,
so-
oh,
yeah,
he
man.
in the office. Gone in there. My son used to say no. As I said, obviously sorry, hand
Swell up.
disfigured, and they had like a bulge. So then they were like, what the hell?
Now they can't tell you were really
Yeah,
happy because
question
they're
though.
saying on the property.
Did anyone call you?
No.
Alright, okay, the time frame that happened regard and the time frame you got there, how much minutes or hours was it for?
No, it happened after 3. I got there, but minutes to 4.
Okay.
So let's say
Sure.
30, even if it happened 30 minutes, that's 30
Yeah.
minutes too long.
Because I think one you should have been called
Right.
as soon as it was reported.
Ambulance should
And
be
then
called.
if you couldn't be reached, seeing the hands swollen,
They call the ambulance.
well, they may not have a medical background, but seeing the hands swollen and
Call
you
the
can't
ambulance.
move fingers means it's signs that the hand is broken.
Something is
An
wrong.
ambulance should
They
have
call
been
the ambulance
called.
or
So
they could have transported him to the
Correct.
no,
nearest
even the
polyclinic.
ambulance didn't transport, she would have come and find the child getting dealt with. Because at the end of the day, the excruciating pain, I was so straight. Give me the pain right and give my child.
Of course.
Because
And
a
it
child
hurts.
can't bear
No.
the
No,
pain
but-
that me
but
and you
in
can
the
bear.
instance that ambulance was not available to come, they should have taken him to the nearest
Polyclinic.
But you're, but
They
They
would
should
have
have
dispatched
warrants
you
or
to
have
That's where liability
warrants
comes
or
in.
black polyclinic.
But that's where the whole issue of liability comes into.
No, you
because
can't take him
as teachers now, we are warned not to get so
emotionally
not
attached.
saying emotionally attached, but we gotta still set boundaries
But you
with
can,
regards
you
to
can, you can call the ambulance and the
right.
ambulance can come.
The ambulance will come. The ambulance
That's
will come out of the
government
school.
But not only that,
That's
I think then let me go again.
No, it's
let me
your
go
liability.
again with legislation and policy.
Mhm.
It needs to be changed. If it is not, because we don't know the particulars, that the principal or the deputy principal, in the case that the principal is not here, is given full control
Of course.
over decision making if you are not there as a
But
parent,
hold on,
especially in the
hold on,
case of emergency
Please,
situation.
Hold on. This happened to your child in primary school, right?
Yeah.
Primary schools don't have a deputy principal.
No.
Oh,
I don't.
see, but you already
I don't
designate.
care who it is. Whether I talking from a
Designate.
holistic point of view, primary senior teacher, because primaries have a senior teacher underneath them, which is almost as equivalent to secondary school deputy. What I'm saying is, the power should be either given to the principal or senior teachers. That if something happened, the responsible thing to do, or we need to start to look at training our teachers in first aid
That's
or
it. That's
something
part of
like
it.
that.
That's
That could benefit you.
Correct.
The other thing, when we touch on the penalizing of the parent. Now, that is an important thing. One of the things I'm challenged by of today, when you were talking about sitting down, and you both of you and Simon was talking about sitting down and having discussions with parents. Now, I'm going to paint everybody with the same brush. But our parents of these days are children, not parents in
But
some
we know
cases.
that. But we know
Our
that.
children are getting children.
We know that.
So the attitude that my mother or your mother would have taken in school to deal with situation is civilized. They would have want to sit down. I'm not saying that they were the best, but they were more likely
They would sit
sit
down.
down and think. Us now, as young people in some cases, not painting everybody with brush again, has this bombastic approach.
Yeah.
Has this don't careish approach because you have children raising children. So the results are never one where people are willing to sit and talk. When you child think, when you child hit my child last week, and you have like, you understand that we're dealing with a
well,
more
well.
serious situation, and having sit-in boards and sit and meetings and stuff. When you hear, well, she didn't tell my child she everything, and then now the message that we young people, the message that we young people are giving our children is, if anybody hit you, hit them
them
back.
to shut back. So when they go to school now, you hit them, something that could have been dealt with at the teacher level or the principal level, not escalate bigger, and it becomes gang, it becomes this, and your child who was so innocent in the fact that he just or she just went to school to learn, have to now get up with some friends to be defending yourself, but then you'll get called a gang.
Yeah.
That is the thing.
That's it.
And that's the thing. Because sir is after the incident where he got dropped on his back, the boy come back again to kicking and cuffing at my son the following week. And
me?
No, man.
Yeah.
No.
yeah,
Now,
and
What teachers
So-
are the principal did?
so I'm getting there. So I don't want to bite it that I out there. But I come and I speak in public what's going on. I first spoke to my son and asked him, are you okay with the steps that mommy's going to take? He said, mommy, do what you got to do. Because if he didn't come kicking and cuffing at me the second time,
Correct.
I would be like, all right, you know, you belong his idiot. But here we go. So now I gone to the senior teacher and I laid a complaint and said, I want something done because this boy came back at my child again. I have not gotten a call. I have not gotten the boy haven't been suspended. That school is like they're writing up peace pledges. He ain't getting the peace pledge
Joe,
right.
man, Joe.
Nothing.
Joe, not right.
What I would say to Lisa, knowing the school, my
You try not
daughter,
to
It
laugh.
depends on that.
I know.
my daughter's in the same school. I've had issues with children there, and my daughters as well. And fortunately for me, the matters were resolved. Whereas the child was brought to a teacher, On some instances, the child was spanked. They were spoken to. We also have in the classroom a group chat. So issues like that, we then contact the parent privately and discuss any issue that they had with the other child. I just don't know.
But the whole thing is this. But
you might be intimidating.
Right, because look at your side. But my whole thing is this, right? My whole thing is this. The school has to create, but the school has to create or foster the environment where peace is pushed and open communication is there. Because if you leave it up to you and a parent trying to resolve an issue, it may become physical or it may become a big legal matter. And because it was not resolved and handled properly in the first place, it is developing into a legal matter.
So I have no choice.
Julia is saying here that the PTAs are not well attended. Let me just hit that PTA thing.
True.
When we get on, like we just allow 4 foot in a bed, bring a child, and then we some parents feel that there's no responsibility. The school has to get to a part where it start mandating certain things. And mandating things through policy and through things. You have a child, you must attend the PTA, you must attend some sort of class level, year level meeting. You have a child, it is a must. Because when you have children, you have some parents.
This both mother and father you talking about, right?
The parents, whether they both sex. You understand? But at the end of the day, right?
No, I will go there.
At the end of the day, when we don't, there's some people, just because you get a child don't mean you're a parent.
No,
and we have to, you parenting workshop, as she said, must be mandatory. I believe that if the child, just like how we in the school system can write a paper and send your child to Eddie Nichols, there should be something mandatory that if your child is consistently bullying people in school, getting involved in with whatever,
get family
then there should be through the court system, the family and the parent or the household should meant to go to some sort of mandatory building or counseling through one of the counseling firms, like Supreme Counseling for Personal Development or one of those. That and Supreme Counseling, for example, should be able to write to the court to say this family have satisfied or not satisfied a report, because you giving children. You get knowledge, children is a parent. You cannot in 21st century sending children to Eddie Nichols, because for now, in a lot of cases, it's seen as stripes.
It's stripes.
You understand? I mean, you come back better than how you was before.
Right.
So we need to look at additional steps by including the family, including the parent in some sort of mandatory parenting workshop or consultation.
I can bring it all back to earth. Right? And tell you that is not practical in Barbados.
Don't tell me impractical.
No, this week in two is not
practical. Put me in parliament tomorrow and tell me impractical.
No, stop. Listen.
No,
the reason why you're saying it's not practical. We have families. We have children living with families. Not only one mother or one father or a mother and father. They're living with their grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, whatever. Extended families, as Simon said. And the issue may not just be the parent. The issue may not even be the parent. The issue might be the grandparent. It might be the cousin, it might be an aunt or uncle. So to say hold on. But this is easily found out. There, Bobby, no investigations are done by the child care board on what's not to deal with situations like this.
No. Child care board only because.
But how you can pull out a whole family? Or you can pull a whole family to attend a session like
if you pull out
I'm saying the parent may not be the problem.
Right, but you will never know who is the problem unless you investigate.
But you gotta go and talk to your children.
Because cannot come into play unless something happens.
Entire family
right, but how do you then know it's the entire family?
But you gotta investigate.
But when you hearing right, that in a school made up of 900 plus students, one guidance counselor. In the entire Ministry of Education, one psychologist. That person can never, then I agree with you, be effective. But if you put together these organizations again, that what we were saying off air, that you have persons like Lisa and different corps that are standing up now as advocate, and you could appoint these persons as organizations that you are working with to say, okay, if a child is being bullied and whatever the school or the court commander send you there, then you will get to find out if it is the father, the child, the mother, even the aunt underneath the cellar. You will get to find out.
I have a question to ask you, right? Because you see all that we're talking here, we're spending talking money.
We can't be spending problem, man.
No,
We ain't in government.
I'll tell you why I'm saying this, right? How effective is the criminal justice system for juveniles?
No, we didn't know. Because we have to go there because, as I said, there's no consequences.
Because
consequences.
Because I mean, your child is still at primary school, or
no? You just said 11 plus this year.
Moving on now.
So your child was at primary school,
and the offender was a primary school.
The offender was a primary school.
Oh, yes, the offender got his school. You said.
So what is frightening for me is that a child at, let me say, 9 years old could go. I have a son. So a child at 9 years old could harm my son irreparably. And you know, because of the laws in Barbados,
that can happen.
Because a child at 11 years old could take a rock and hit my son. Blind him.
Get charged.
You get charged?
Yeah, because he's over 11. 11 or over.
No, I said 9.
Oh, no, what you saying?
No, ain't gonna happen.
9, no, nothing ain't gonna happen.
Right.
Apologies.
Not even get an apology from the parent. Right? And
Yeah.
so
this is where we are saying we
we gotta
to be
fight.
held responsible.
Right.
So you
Something
see-
gonna
so
happen.
you see where there's an argument, and which is justifiably so, that in instances where you have minors, this whole thing about mediation with parents has to be a big concern.
Yeah.
Before you go to litigation, there should be some kind of
Mediation.
mediation first.
And that is where we fall down.
But the principal of the school is the
principal
one that's
of the school.
supposed to be the catalyst for it.
Yeah, no, not talking to me, and they talking to her.
Yes, I
and
know.
me.
But
And when I-
you know where you see Wells out here, y'all keep on saying the principal and senior teachers, right?
Yes.
Same way you're a teacher, and you know this.
But he ain't gonna power other than the principal.
No, here.
The principal is the leader of the school.
Same way knows this. When you actually signed up to be a teacher and you were accepted, you were given a contract. You have to follow direction from the ministry.
Of course.
And the ministry, policy in that ministry set by policymakers.
Right.
And if policymakers don't see a vested interest in it for themselves, they don't do anything.
Right.
And that is where you got a serious problem.
And this is where marches and organizing yourself from just a pressure group, but just from a group of persons to becoming a bona fide pressure group is important.
Yeah.
So I would advise you and your team of people to become formalized, open your charity
We
or whatever
intend to
organization,
push.
NGO or
Trust
civil society, CSO, and get things happen. Because at the end of the day, as I said before, the school is supposed to be a place of learning and nurturing for children, not a place of violence.
But that's the thing.
But
I said it on Sunday, and I'll say it again. If we don't stand up for something now, you see the generation coming behind.
Worst one.
You see my grandchildren, my great grands. They may have nothing to stand on this island, and we say the our future is our children. But if you say that, then what are you putting in
That's a low
place?
statement,
Question
yeah?
regarding the whole incidents and schools and what's not. I gathered that there's none, but I'll ask a question. Is there any insurance
No.
that the school has?
None. Tell you no. Can you ask? Is there any? When my son broke his hand, is there any insurance? No. No, and they stunned me
You know,
because
but you know what's
you see
funny?
private schools got.
Yeah.
You see private schools got. All of them have to have public liability.
Exactly. So I'm saying,
Everybody have their public liability, and then they got none.
You hold an event on one given day,
You got
X
a
number,
million-
and you have
You
no
have to donate your
insurance.
liver.
And I know when I went to community college, I had had insurance. So it is that primary school children don't have
UE
insurance.
also,
Don't even get me.
when you signed up at UE,
Yeah, you got
had to
insurance.
sign the insurance form, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
All of us did, but even back
So
in my
no,
time,
I think that I said there's a lot of things that we as people, I find that we know we have to demand.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
I remember I was having a conversation with someone because I said something to a politician, and the person was like, "You can't say that to a politician," and
Why not?
and I was like,
Who the
"Are
hell
you
are you?
crazy?"
Who cares
Like
who you?
I have to be at the point where I demand. And I'm not a politician. I'm an advocate for the homeless.
That's it.
And I will continue being an advocate for the homeless. If I become a politician, I would still want to be that politician that advocates on the rights of people.
Of course.
So not just because a politician should have a new
Ego.
political ego or the political, I put out a political whatever cloth and forget people. I don't think that's the case.
The problem is that when you become a politician, you feel super money invincible.
I want them to say.
You're back with us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So we speak a lot about bullying and we speak a lot about children. But how about the special needs kids? And how about the disabled community? Where are we going to build? Well, no, we're starting to build ramps on some buildings.
Access.
Then for the special needs kids, there's not a wide array of options available in terms of education. So there's Hill, there's the Derek Smith School. I don't know all, but
There's some private ones.
Right, there's not many, right? And I think that we're going to need to start, because I have a special need person in my family.
Right.
And when he was in the public system, he was kind of just pushed
Pushed
one
aside.
side
Marginalized,
because
really.
the teacher didn't know how to deal with him. Right? So then the other kids obviously bullying, troubling, teasing, all of these things. So my thing is, if we get serious about children, we have to look at all children.
Of course.
Even
And
the
not-
ones with ADHD too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was getting
On the
at that.
spectrum.
Yeah.
So I think going forward we have to start focusing definitely on the disabled community, because we have a lot of disabled visitors come here in
That's
terms
it.
of travel. So they actually complain that there's not enough or adequate sidewalks for them to
Ramps.
to roll on, drive on. In terms of persons available for care, there's not always enough big enough interest in nursing for the disabled and special needs. So I think if you could get some
Right.
persons advocating for the
So they can stop in the
special needs
schools.
and the disabled community and putting it in policy, that would be a
Right.
I think there's a lot of work starting on that though. I think that I know you understand a lot of people with special. When I went to school, I saw people with special needs in my school that were bullied.
Integrated. They were integrated.
and stuff like that. And that was not for me. I bullied people at school, but I
You
couldn't.
openly admit this?
And you feel bad about it
I
now.
feel bad. Nothing that you think. I admit, but I always say I know where you're coming from. You understand?
No, I didn't. No, it's not.
Like, so-
No, it's not. It wasn't even going to. It was actually going on something you said earlier about that's when it happened to me at school. I was running and I slipped my hip out of place.
Oh wow.
Hey, that happened to me too.
I had a
That's unique.
yeah.
I got my dislocated.
And-
on the-
So now y'all share
We
something.
share something together, and the ambulance was called.
Proper.
So that's when here going like
What school this was?
elementary secondary school, and the ambulance was called for me, but here it is.
Broken hand.
Years later on, a broken hand.
At a primary school.
At
But
a primary school.
Lisa, I'll say this. What's surprising to me about your story? My child mother is a teacher. Right? Or should I say the mother of my child?
Same.
Child mother
Same.
is something wrong.
Wherever you are.
Right? So my son's mother.
Oh my God, different word for you.
Baby daddy.
My son's mother
Nice
is
remove.
a teacher. No, she teaches at a school.
Not Hollywood.
No, I'm not going to call it
Oh, Lord,
school.
man.
She teaches at a school in urban Barbados. And many times when I have spoken to her during the day, because we have a very good relationship every day, right?
That's
So
It's
okay.
we all know
like,
that.
you ain't brownie points here, but go ahead.
Yeah, go on, my child.
Right? She would tell me that like a child had a medical issue, like probably asthma attack
That's
or
right.
something.
Which is common.
And they would either they have to call the ambulance or a teacher is mandated to take that child to the polyclinic. They don't have to take a child to a private doctor, but always
In public.
the public
I
doctor.
That's
think we
fine,
need
but
to.
So I am stunned that
That was not the
that
case.
This happened
Wait.
to your child. That was not the
But
case.
we need to really sit down and that's the thing. People that don't know the rights and they don't know the laws of institutions. We have to look at the protocols of what is going on in the schools. What if something happens and parents' voice needs to be heard? But someone had said the PTAs.
That's it. Let's get
The
back to that.
PTAs, they need to be revamped. I remember at
More
seminar.
teachers is a thing
Yeah,
that.
I remember
Are you
at
on the
our-
RTA?
I was on the PTA.
Okay.
Twice at the school, but due to work commitments, and then I have another son as well too. I wasn't able. But however, we have no excuse now to be part of the PTA because we have Zoom.
Or
Correct.
we have
True.
WhatsApp.
Boom.
Yeah,
Zoom or WhatsApp.
Zoom there.
meeting.
Thank,
A
at least
virtual
it's one
meeting.
week. I said thank you to Corona for a Zoom.
Zoom.
So
Zoom
so
got real popular.
exactly. So
Zoom make money.
now it is time now to say no more. All right. We have no excuses now.
To
We
meet.
are all online. We can meet together and discuss issues. So when we talk about we want COVID 21st of September coming. We speak about COVID protocols. We need to speak about
Sanitization
protocols
stations.
of everything that going on
That's
through
right.
our schools. You want to make our children safe, or it's going to come a time you are going to see more applications going to the Ministry of Education for homeschooling.
That's it.
You can more out to that. But as I say, the fight we have to go on is not only the protocols of school, but also the legislation of what we have in place. Because if there's no consequences, it's basically a free for all.
Correct.
We have to, and then invest the same way how we invest in the big buildings that a lot of people, grasshoppers is used. We can do it in the social workers and our counselors as well, and the guidance counselors.
But
Hold on. I'm glad you actually made that point. Because this is one thing I actually wanted to ask you. Given that your child went through this circumstance twice, what is his psychological state of mind? Because we often
That's
talk about
right.
the abusers, but we
victims.
Right.
continue to forget about the victims.
Right. So I know, and as I said before, hurting people hurts people. Now here he is at stage 1 of primary. So secondary school is coming.
Yeah.
He is obviously going to gain strength from what has happened in primary school and seeing the injustice that has been happening to him. From day 1, I put my son in counseling.
Okay.
And I sit along with him.
Good move.
And the reason why I do it is for him to vent. Because as I tell people all the time, and y'all men can agree with me on this, you're not necessarily going to tell the person in your household what is going on. You will feel a little bit more comfortable talking to somebody who's outside. You want to be able to vent. You want to let all of these emotions out. Because we live in a society which says men aren't cry. And I tell my son straight, listen, I would rather you let it out than hold it in.
And then blow.
And then blow. Because
And then blow.
because somebody, God forbid,
You don't want that happen at all.
anybody in front of my child, I know it ain't gonna be not going down like the primary school. It gave me that way, but nobody ain't do nothing this time, so I can take matters into my own hand.
And the thing about it too is that his mindset might change.
There
I
we
don't
go.
want to become the aggressor because he may say, you know what, after what you went through, nobody.
Yeah.
you know, me.
Yeah,
I
and that is the attitude I have got.
Yes.
Mommy in the bike around me again, you know.
You
Nobody
see
come
now?
around.
Yeah, but you should
You
never
better
have, you
watch
should
that.
never, your
You better watch
son,
that.
your son or you should never have to ever get to that place if the matter as it relates to school was taken care of. One of the
Correct.
things, the biggest thing, and I can go in defense of the Ministry of Education here. The Ministry of Education, I know, would have serious protocol. We're not talking about whether ministers or not. Would have implemented a lot of protocols within the school. What I find in my little corner is that a lot of times Simon, who is a principal at A and is a principal at B, have this mindset, I can run my school how I feel.
That's
And
the
Simon
problem.
can run his school
Yeah,
how he
even
feel.
though the
Away from the protocols
That are set.
that are set. So
Go ahead.
we
I
have
agree.
we have teachers, principal that are not followed, and when you don't follow the protocols,
Yeah.
because don't let me be naive, the government or any ministry or any minister would know that they will have to have protocols in place for things like these. And we find that we have, when they sit on boards and when they sit everywhere and they hear other board members speak or whatever, the principals and the teachers far separated from the protocols of
Well
the
said.
school. And then when you come as a parent, there is a way to handle this.
So
we know that.
Hold on. Is there a handbook that is given to each school?
Yeah, I was given a handbook as a board, and that my handbook ain't small. My handbook takes. So imagine what a principal could get.
So
But
the reason I ask is because if there's a handbook that
There is
everybody
handbooks.
gets, then there is no excuse.
no.
Not
Because remember, we are dealing with public servants who
Correct.
get on like
As
them
it
is
is
permanent
here.
servants that you can't remove them because their position are solidified in Barbados.
We don't
Remember, they
have-
always say a minister is elected; they are already there for life. So here's what the thing: when you have these protocols, and this is where the system needs to put itself into play, where that when these people in public service screw up, they need to go.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you this, when you allow for these things to slip through the crack, we then turn around and blame the minister. We then turn around and blame the ministry.
Permanent
But
secretary,
nobody
CEO.
ain't going back to the principal to say, listen, let me see what going, because I know that if anything happens, by I there on the board, anything happen within a school, the school board should be notified. This is secondary. For primary, I know that an immediate letter or report
Yeah.
should go to the
Letter,
ministry.
But
Of course,
Kimar,
of course.
I want to ask you a question. Being that you sit on a school board,
Mm.
and I assume this is a secondary school board.
They ain't got no primary school boards.
Well,
That's right.
How difficult is it to, because I know a primary school teacher obviously will be employed by the Ministry of Education.
So is the secondary.
Well, true.
Through the board.
But through the board.
No. The board has no control. The board has no control over the teachers. Only ancillary staff.
So you mean like the groundsman and them?
Yeah.
But
The board hires the ancillary. The school teachers are hired through the ministry, not through the board.
Well, I am confused because I remember years ago, I sent out, I can say this openly, I sent out 23 applications to be a teacher.
You were interviewed by the board.
I was rejected by 22.
You were rejected by 23, but you still make teacher?
Hello. My old school, St. Michael's School, saw pity on me and gave me an interview. They didn't give me a job right there.
So you lost 23. Exactly.
Right? But no. The reason why I'm asking because obviously I was interviewed by the school itself, the board management. So I was under the opinion that the board does the hiring and that I would be reporting to the board itself.
No, the board made recommendation. So we if I put out an ad in the paper, let's say for 5 teachers, for teachers for maths, 5 come for interview, we would select the 5 of the best, and then we would just recommend 1, 2, or 3 to the Ministry of Education. The Ministry of Education selects who they want from there. So we can more likely if the board recommends, they would. But that is how the board is done in recommendation. Okay. But there's a lot of times there's guidelines that must be followed, and we find that these oftentimes they are not followed because some teachers believe they're so seasoned, some principals believe they're so seasoned that they don't need to look back at the handbook. They don't need to this. Policies change daily in Parliament. The ministry can come up with a new legislation that does not even have to go into Parliament or whatever the thing is. So if the teachers are not following or the principals are not following those guys, now don't get me wrong, some of those policies or legislation are flawed. But at the end of the day, it still has a basic in it that if a child handbook, this is what to do.
Correct.
But this is what have me.
Hold on.
Let me answer.
Denise, we are not bashing public servants. I'm just letting you know this up front. We are speaking.
Who's Denise? Seen
a
Denise.
friend of mine.
Oh,
she's talking to you personally?
Yeah.
So we
she's coming on the show.
I was looking at bullying from a perspective of child sexual abuse. And how a lot of kids go to school sexually abused and use bullying as a tool to mask what's going on in the homes.
Or in the environment.
You mean they're bullying somebody to mask it? Or they're getting bullied to mask it?
Okay, you as a child been sexually abused. That brings a lot of trauma on the child.
Right.
So you become angry, you become bitter, you become, because you know you've been defiled everything. So you then seek to bully other kids as a means to masking that
Most
pain.
of them do masking pain.
And there's not enough attention placed on pedophilia in Barbados because I heard this current Attorney General said Barbados is too small for child sex registry. That's absurd, right? Because every person who has, even if you're convicted, if you went to court on a child sex charge, you should have. Your name should be able to you should click on it easy and see this person has a child sex.
And then after a certain number of years is removed. Because that's what happens. It goes in the registry overseas, and then after a number of years it is
with the net no be removed.
Right, but not removed. But
you know, it is interesting you said that. No, let me tell you. Years ago I was in a class at Women in Power 1. There were 26 women and 2 men. I said 20. I said 27 women because the other guy wasn't sure what he right? But the moral story is that I think this was the last number 4 or 5. We spoke about sexual assault against women, and it was a really emotional class because out of the 26 women, about 22 were abused
sexually at some point.
Sexually abused, and some were even abused by family members and things. So it is at that point that it awoke in my mind that hey, this is a serious problem in Barbados, and I think because we're I don't just Barbados. Correct. We're a society where we try to more or less shove everything on the carpet and pretend that it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen,
but it is happening actively, and you just walk like through it.
Because in primary school, this is where a lot of the trouble you guys get in secondary school. If we don't attack it in
early,
primary, we don't attack it early. We don't nip it in the bud. We hush it. If I remember someone tell me, you should be glad that he ain't in the hospital or anything. So
what?
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Or you should be glad But then here it is, you allow this to have behavior continuing, and then no, in society, I gotta be ducking from a bullet.
Right.
I can't sleep at night time.
The other thing that we gotta look at too is the response of the parents.
That's why I said we have to start it here.
Before you go there, Simon, just let me touch on what Kimar was saying. I find that even in that comment by the AG, I don't support it. And from this perspective, you can't tell me that you can't give me a rapist rather, registry in Barbados. I don't care what fancy what you put, a rapist. But yet, our young men are scrutinized on the fact that when they got a crime, it's on your political character.
Yes.
And when you hand it into a job,
You can't get a job.
you can't get a job. So you can't say on one hand, the people that commit a crime
True.
is suffering, but yet, because if you remember, even if you go to court and you pay a fine, that's a crime. You understand? But you can't tell me.
It's funny you say that because technically, by virtue of a police certificate of character, you already got a sex registry.
Correct.
But no, whether or not I don't think it says. Yeah, one or two people might know in the district or wherever you see in the paper. We parade people in the courtyards of Barbados.
That's it. It doesn't go further.
Where the best thing you go into court, yo, love you, peace, and you still know why they're going down. You still know why they're going to prison. But yet you're saying that somebody that go and rape and assault a student, a child, suppose now that by mistake never got or by chance never made the person police security, and they go and hire that person in the school system.
Correct.
What can happen to the other little children or what? So these things you have to protect. You can't be so naive to say that a rapist is not supposed to be registered. You can't be naive to say that these things are not supposed to be put in place, because at the end of the day, you're not protecting yourself. You're protecting alone. You're protecting society.
You know the other issue you and both Kimars have highlighted now, and I alluded to it a bit earlier when I talk about criminal justice for minors. In Barbados, as it currently is, there needs to be serious criminal justice reform. And it's interesting, me and some men at Ramshaw was talking about this part of
We have a children's court.
No.
We should do.
Right. So me and some men at Ramshaw was talking about this evening, and I made the point that this is no bashing of the current AG or any of the AGs that Barbados has had, but I find that a lot of you have politicians come into the job and they just do the job as being a part of the cabinet, but they're not actually putting their heart into the job of criminal justice reform. Because, you look around the world and a lot of things that they're saying can't happen in Barbados are happening all over the world.
True. Somebody said Barbados behind.
But we got people who are becoming attorney generals and minister of legal affairs and all that, whom are, I have to say no, openly refusing to reform the criminal justice system in Barbados, and it is to the detriment of our young people and our able-bodied men and women who are suffering because they are not doing
but
their jobs.
But my question, Jermaine, is what I find that our society, which is so kind of like only thing that gives me a migraine a day, and I never had one in my life. What the hell wrong with the fact that every shit we want to do in this country, it can't be done?
True.
That's what is driving me mad, and it's but this is what have me, and that's what I keep telling people: if you want something done, be in it for the long haul.
Correct.
You have to push. In a court system. There's no way. It took me 3 years to get. I had 2 cases already. It took me 3 years for one and 2 years for another one because they got real ignorant. They started selling me out of court, but and it should not have come to that.
No,
we just take too long.
But
people for it to be
but that's what's got me to understand.
Justice.
Yeah,
but you realize that was it taking 3 years and 2 years for your cases, right? I know about 2 cases in Barbados with 2 persons of a different color, where there were 2 very serious charges, and both cases went through the court system from arrest straight onto conviction and, well, I guess completion and throw within 6 months.
It all depends on who you are there.
So we can say that it's safe to say that the bullying is all across, even outside the thing. Even because I just find that we as a society where this is where we have to hold. I could get to say we have to hold the political parties and the politicians at another level. That we find that in the political campaigns, we is like if the money is a politician, is a politician, not elected politician yet, but it's like he feel my pain. So he's gonna get on the campaign, or he's gonna get on platform and start to talk about my experience because I share it with him. But then when you ask into Parliament,
You forget
that the pain that which you spoke about, which you say, okay, I think that we should pass legislation to protect people like we saw. Get straight with the
higher the multipliers, honey. You ever heard about it? The higher the multipliers.
You talk about getting into Parliament, right? I find that the switch happens in the United election.
Well, whichever it happened, but it is not fair. It is not fair because you use me in the platform as my hurt as a parent or my hurt if a bullying. He said, okay, a bullying legislation need to be passed. It need to be this. But then when you get in, it's like every other people the day is not you.
Yeah, but being a realist though, people like too much hype. And that's the thing.
That's the
Everybody's be in for the hype. And then you have to do the groundwork. And this is what has me. As I put in the as you would have read in the bio, one of the first medical schools that were here on the island, I was a part of in the infrastructure. And you had protocols. The Barbados Accreditation Council made sure you had protocols.
Right.
So nobody can tell me about running a school. I know I was there for almost 6 years. And it's with tertiary level. So you have protocols for every single thing to accommodate disability, to accommodate mental health issues. It was protocol for everything. So here it is, you're telling me something happens and people thinking, okay, fine, because it's my school, I run it my way, is a free for all. It cannot work. We have to have things in place. And I think if we do not have strong consequences to show people, and it only takes one, it takes one parent to say, see me, enough is enough. An eye for eye, a tooth for a tooth, a child for a child.
Lisa, I want to add something.
Yeah,
I want to add something to you that I have often said, and you always alluded to it a bit when you said about you getting one, the politicians get in, and you no longer become the thing. No, you spoke about height. On the campaign trail, there are a lot of regular persons who are there jumping around, yeah, jump for joy, right? And you would say that these persons are supposed to be your main concern because in truth and fact, these persons that want to vote for you on a given day. But you know that when that politician is elected and then probably is selected to join the cabinet, the first persons that turn up at either cabinet office or to that minister's office is not some person like you, but a business person who is just one person with their interests at heart, who will turn up and say, listen, John Brown, I want to have a meeting with you to discuss my business.
Right? Discussing people's business.
And you see the 4,000 people that jump for joy and vote for that politician, then immediately go to back.
Yeah, because you never really see that. You never really saw that man jump in anyhow.
So he jump for whoever come in.
And that is why the approach where I may be bad for saying it, but I just think that I think that a lot of us, and like what you guys are doing, have to take things into our own hands. And I often, it's saddened that the people of the country has to be the voice where it should be the other way around, where the politicians supposed to be the voice. But nevertheless, I agree with Jeremy, and I probably refer to my life. But where we should definitely have politicians not just meeting with the business class and the colors of this and the names of that and all of that, but you meet with people that has real issues. Your issue is not just. I remember when my child went to school. I think the first day came on some child. What? The first day, and I mean my child is only like 2 and still my Kalibu and you know Kalibu. I just let it go. I just let it go.
But you can't
and you can't know because you couldn't always each other, but he's just the same age as he.
Of course.
And you want to slap off a head. No, get me wrong. You want to slap off a head because you check out with how much ever teeth in that your mouth. So you like check out with 1 teeth. You check out every whole mouth. If you got to carry along all the teeth, you got to carry along it. But you feel for your child. Your child can be daddy. They bite me. And you so you feel it. Yes, the teachers are at that school is helpful, but what I'm just saying. Then the next week come over this year, but you got the parents and it's something. The funny thing is, it's always the same idiot that doing it. So it gets to show you that ain't a whole school,
No,
just nip that one in the back.
But this is what have me. Sorry, but this is what have me. The same child that accosted my son has a history at the school that of consistently interfering with children all the time, and the mother has a history, and I've seen her myself of cussing the teachers, and I'm going like. So what I know?
So she's a bully. So then you
But
see
you know,
where the
you
boy
know,
gets it from.
You know, it's
The mother is a bully.
You know, it's happening.
And the child
So
too.
both of them need counseling.
Both of them?
It was last year or this year that the student at St. James Secondary School was killed.
Yeah.
Early-
It was
last year?
Last year.
That was last year.
You last year, I think.
I think last year.
Right, but I mean, it is interesting that we have had these incidences go as far as to death.
And nothing
And the
again,
Ministry
no.
of Education ain't doing nothing about
Nothing
it.
getting done.
No, but
And
no,
it's
you can't. It won't be fair to the Ministry of
Nothing,
Education.
nothing.
That nothing, because then you are just saying that the ministry is neglecting. The things are
never
being.
said that?
No, the comment would impose that. What I'm just saying is things are being done. Many times, I think that even if things are being done swiftly, the communication is like the police. If, for example, the police are now, and I thankfully that the Prime Minister would have addressed that, are now giving updates. Remember, many times before they would have just said a crime committed, but you would never hear an update on the crime. So
Yes,
you will hear the
it's
crime now
solved.
is update or the crime is solved. We kept this body,
Yeah.
and because they probably Royal Barris police page, I know that for sure. So what I'm just saying is the communication needs, and we have to also remember in defense of the ministry again that some things are very sensitive, so everything cannot be
Yeah,
said
of
in
course,
public.
of course not.
So we understand that, but it does not. I remember we have the case where the homeless with the water, guy threw the water for the homeless, and literally every day somebody call and message and say, hey, what is the update? And they have to tell them, okay, it is in the hands of the Royal Barris Police Force now. We can't do anything about it. Just leave it there and let that matter take its course. But you won't get an update.
Whilst I agree with you that the Royal Barbados Police Force is very swift at catching perpetrators of crimes.
The legal system.
When you look at the legal system in Barbados, still, it leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
Because catching them and put them back on the fence, well, let them.
Hold on. You catch a man, like somebody throw water on one of your clients, right? Now, because of the lapse in the judiciary in Barbados, a magistrate gets that perpetrator in front of them, has no choice but to release them on bail, because the magistrate know everything and send you up in prison. He probably gonna be there for the next 3 years before this case ever starting.
Correct.
So it's easier to just release him on bail,
Or
right?
warning.
Or warning and move on, right? And you see that, and that is just for a simple case of somebody throwing water on a homeless.
True.
You have murderers, and I said murderers. You have persons who are ready to plead guilty to murder in this country, right? Walking around for the last 7 to 10 years, and their case cannot be started.
But my challenge is that you got a man wanted, right? You ran about behind for 1 year in Barbados and then give you bail the next day.
Thank you. I don't make sense. Makes no
But no,
sense.
but if we go back a little bit, the issue there, I already
That's
spoiled
a
with me
good point. That's a
too.
good point.
The incident there, Princess Margaret,
Yeah.
that one hit me hard.
Bobbing up, Princess Margaret.
Princess Margaret, where a youngster was, I can't remember the whole situation, but anyway, he is no longer with us on this earth.
Sorry,
And 3 persons were involved in it, and it
Oh,
took
really?
them almost 11 years
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes, I
to
remember
come
that.
to a conclusion.
You see, no,
And,
That's
and,
the one
and
that-
the
that's
parents,
what-
and this is the thing, when we talk about effects of parents, I mean, you know how much parents can't sleep at night time, hypertension gone through the roof,
Health
diabetic, health started to deteriorate, just trying to get a little piece of justice, a piece of money to say, wait, my child ain't dying fiend. You know, $50,000 for your head.
nothing happens.
That you understand, and in length of
Okay.
time, and this is what we are fighting for. And I have to give kudos to Stephanie Chase on this, because
Yeah, good job, Stephanie.
the matter of the Marco came out, I said, Stephanie, we got to do something, man. These children, you got parents here can't sleep at night time, and I know how they feel. Because here it is, my child had a good surgery. You think it was easy for me to sit down and see my child going underneath and anesthetic twice?
Nope.
And they can't, and as I said, allergic to antibiotics, painkillers, and penicillin, and has to feel every single pain and gain that mommy in my hand. Or when his back is hurt, all I can do is give him the herbal products and say, listen, big man, we gotta do get that inflammation out your back. And every night I pray for my child
Some
back.
people got beat the children just to take the
You understand?
not
And
good.
you understand? He marching
good.
next to me on Sunday. My son look at me and tell me, Mommy, you need to get out of car. My back started hurt me. And this is months afterwards, this incident.
My 2-year-old, my 1-year-old fell right when she was running, and I cried. So I imagine you
You
went
understand?
through words and
So you have a
that
lot
was-
of parents out there who have not gotten justice from a system that failed them. And every 5 years, you are hearing promises, we can do this and we can do that.
That never
And
is-
nothing
that
is
never
happening.
But then who was the fool? Because
The people
we
are
oftentimes elect people based on how charismatic them is
How we feel about
and
it.
how we feel about them. But at the same time, I often say we elect the same slate of people. You understand?
You ain't really are, right?
Right?
But no, we are a culture. I think we keep too quiet because it is taboo.
Yeah, but no, you know what I tell. Thank you for reminding me. I find that
Go ahead.
when we also and this is one of my biggest problems with politicians or people in public service or any other people that may think this way. We often think that because somebody rises up and say what they have to say, that we are against you.
Correct.
And then we are ridiculed because we say, if I tell you that you hit my car, don't take offense that you hit my car.
You hit your car.
You hit my car. So
How you
here's
address
what.
it.
How can we address it?
it?
And I find that even in the political system, even in the public sector system, as soon as somebody you made it clearly there, Jermaine, when you address your person there, that when you say something, it feel like an attack.
True.
It is only an attack when it hit the nail for the head. You understand? Because people are saying genuinely, this is how they feel. People are, and I'm in an area where I help people, and don't think that some people are not opposed to what I do. Don't think that some of my clients are saying, well, I ain't getting help neither. And you can't say that, don't come back here because the person said, you have to call in, the person said, okay, what is the problem? Where you say that I have not given you the help, what is it? To see if I can address it. And a responsible, sensible person does that. You cannot sit down and holler, well, you see, you don't come back here for no food. Because he say happy, don't come back. You cannot do that. Because there may be something in there that you did not address, or you forgot, or you told the person about, and then you did not willfully, but you did not do it. So I realize every time you open your mouth about public service, about teachers, about politicians, and about this, you become this blacklisted person.
I got blacklisted and I'm very happy for
I
it.
have no problem being blacklisted because you know what I always say? I don't cut my paw at none of them.
True.
You know, and I don't care if they're vexed or not. If we as a society elect you or to do a job, or those in the public service are selected to do a job, regardless of elected or selected, the people of this country is who holds you accountable to all of these, and they must come first. If you're in a public servant job, your job is to serve the public, not your personal interest. Cannot be.
It's interesting what you're saying because, as I told you before, you said that persons who are not elected, but
both elected and selected.
But the selected civil servants, they believe that they own the job. Right?
But then that's why parents like Lisa would always feel the way she feels, that the sister. Listen, I believe that we have.
You know how it is to remove a civil servant.
I understand that, but it's not hard enough.
It's probably easier
it's
to go to dentist and get a tooth pulled out.
It's not hard to remove nobody in this country, you know.
True,
we make it hard to remove people. The same politicians, and I will use this not in any negative way. When I saw the politicians ran to early in the after election to appoint the Senate by changing the legislation about being in Barbados for 18 months, right? The same way we can run to do these things, we can run. The powers are always at the parliament or the policy makers or the lawmakers.
Exactly.
Because once law is passed, but we as the people can't really say much to it. If that we have people in the public service or whatever that we believe that they believe that they're so secure that they could do the shit that they do. The people in this country are, because you say something, you could be ridiculed or blacklisted because you can't apply for the government jobs and this and that. No, we have the people in Parliament, the 30 that we elect from the Barbados Labour Party, that could make those decisions.
Right? I'm gonna address this point directly to Kimar and Simon.
Oi.
No, well, not you.
Simon.
Kimar, Stuart, and Simon Ali, right?
And German bet.
No, not German bet, because I have an interest in politics. Right?
Let's continue.
Today's the day for you to like.
Remember I said more jokes than me, boy. I can get about
Ram Akko. You know who's that? We'll bring him.
Alright, hold on.
Where do I bring it?
Hold on.
Wait, hold on.
Hold on. You talk with 30 in Parliament, right? The 30 in Parliament have power in Parliament to pass legislation and set policy, right?
Right.
However, you know who I have seen in this country really bring politicians to the knees?
Who's
So them people called union leaders. especially not the bars workers, national
Not no
union
more
of
no
workers.
boys. Not no more no.
Well, you may have your opinion on the canny, right?
But no, Candy
No, it's not about Candy, it's about
Candy.
the
The
club.
social partnership seems to be working.
for him.
Right?
But the reality is that you know, the unions, when they actually want to oppose, because I remember when the Democratic Party was in power, they were very vociferous, they were very
March,
active,
boy, you know,
they
the
marched,
real fit, the keep fit, boy.
they kept the
Oh, man.
government to the heels, right? So when the unions want to oppose
They can
and want
oppose.
to ensure that the government, that the fair is at the feet of the government, they can do it.
We understand that, but remember too, right? When a government has to lead, and some of us, whether be union or whether be public, will be affected by leadership.
True.
And when you see something like the bullying, you include the BETU and the BSTU to whoever, you get the recommendation, you get your feedback, but you have to make the policy.
Correct.
And that is where we have to get on.
Correct.
We are not excluding anybody when it comes to making policy.
To get the work done.
But at the end of the day, I said to Lisa, I want your recommendation. And I think that this is the biggest problem. You talk about union and you talk about their days are dying. I will say that publicly. The days of people like her.
Until people come with union,
No,
they're
listen.
gonna be pure.
No. The people like her that when they talk get 25,000 views,
Yeah.
more than Parliament
That's
or
right.
more than whatever, is the people that is the union now. Yeah.
But they're
The-
also
the-
social
the-
influencers.
But
the
Lisa-
social people, the
Influencers.
people, they think.
Even if you get 100,000 views, can you shut down your government Barbados tomorrow?
They will listen.
But people, no, they can't shut it
You
down.
are
They will
But you want to
listen.
listen.
They
You want to
unlike the other batch that we had, right? Unlike the other batch that we had, and then listen.
Who?
The other batch, right?
The batch.
Don't let me call the name. Unlike the other batch, right? But here's what we have seen, that there is a government now that when the masses speak, they listen.
They listen.
So
They
don't
everything
get
right.
tired.
Yeah, they don't get everything right the first
Correct.
time. But when they listen,
They
it makes
listen,
sense.
but they're willing to go back and change too.
I agree.
Right?
And if
But
necessary, they apologize.
they apologize.
I agree. Even if
Right.
they push, I agree.
Yeah, but
you have a point. You have a point.
we have to look at the American system, right? Is not allowing for no shout to get away by the
That's the
capital
word for you.
or no executive in America. That's what you see in the riots. That's what you see in the behaviors and all.
Very
effective.
And effective. When the government about it, I could say without a shadow of doubt, listens.
Justin,
And-
hold on here. That's
Yeah,
quite funny.
go ahead, go ahead.
Justin made it. They just don't fight for the rights. If you ask them to hold a rally at the ministry to demand change, you can predict how many will show up.
It's true.
Tell them to come and jump up at a free fest.
Right,
You will see
it's
hundreds
true.
show up
It
to
is
walk up.
true.
So we must make sure the rally is a rally fact.
You got it, everybody. Yeah,
Someone made a comment here also that we didn't even touch. Someone mentioned about the teachers being bullies.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes.
boy.
That, yes.
Teachers being
Uh,
bullied.
Yes.
Some teachers.
Bullying
Some.
from top down.
But yeah,
I got
I-
experience with teachers that was very, very.
When you were
You share your experience, sir.
You still at school.
only now.
No, I was speaking about when I was in primary
Oh,
school.
okay. Go ahead.
You remember that hurt you know.
Boy, this thing cut me so.
Jeez,
Well,
man.
you don't have to talk to it if you don't want to.
I don't want.
I'm a counselor, I can help you.
Don't call names. Don't call names.
Right? Because you can clearly identify with the person just because of the fact. But what you're saying is,
I don't care how they play
the
them.
teacher outwardly look at me and say you want me to pass from high school. What? This is my top student, and she is going to pass for Harrison's College.
And where did you talk? You know that?
Just wait. This she's gonna pass with Harrison's College. She's so meticulous in her work. She's so this, she's so that. And the whole class. All the one they here got work to do to catch she. She is this and she's that.
He's a killjoy, man.
When the results come out, she passed in the same school as me. And must go 10 other people pass for Harrison's and Queens and everything, and she ain't get the range. I even get more marks than she.
Oh.
My point is, you
You went to
have
good school, by the way.
yes,
I went there too.
you have
Okay, that trap on me, right?
you went to the same Michael school.
My daughter goes to Michael, so.
I'm disrespecting.
My thing is, you have teachers at a primary school level
Bashing the kids
bashing
from
kids,
so young. It's true.
insulting children,
Mhm.
telling them you can't get this and you can't get.
Jeez.
The teacher even tell my mother that I will not put down St. Michael's for him because he can't get there.
Can you imagine that?
The highest he could get is lodge
think
if
so.
he try hard. If he try hard. Why blow lodge out the water by just saying that this is she vicious tongue
Yeah.
to my
Yeah.
parents.
Verbal
You
abuse.
remove them
It's
wrong,
verbal
Mark.
abuse.
What you think was reason? But that's important.
So-
She just
Socioeconomic.
she just can control. She
Your
just
multi.
can she just can control me in a class space. Because it was a very active child, high energy.
Wait one,
and-
I though, regarding teachers being bullies, I have to go on as to say, at Llewellyn Secondary School, we
You
had
mean Robert?
a teacher by the name of Miss Lashley,
Closed down.
and
Wait, you want to put women name now? Come on.
Yeah, how about Lassie's out there?
we had a teacher by the name of Miss
She knows
Lashley,
she's there.
who was at one point in time the deputy principal of the school.
Oh, God.
Yes,
man.
I could say, I like
man,
other people
talk.
here.
Eh,
And she put out a lot of threats to students. She was known as one of the teachers in the school that like to bully children.
I won't remember.
And-
You can't get charged yesterday.
I am well.
Yeah,
Mary
but
tell you,
you get bullied.
she's also dead. Rest in peace to her.
Let she come and charge.
But I remember one occasion, even remember me. I wasn't one to let a boy run over me that kind of way. I had back in also, but she came to me one point in time, tell me, "Oh, this thing with 3 strikes and you gotta go to the Nichols Center." I was like, "No, not me." And she was like, "Oh, you have to go down by Queen's Park. The police will meet you and you gotta go to the council and all bound and shit." I was like, "You know what I mean?"
You very. How old you was?
No, how old I was?
You was second.
Another
I-
serious case. In my secondary school life now, I actually had a teacher tell me do not mix and mingle food with people.
What?
Yeah. You're from that environment, you're from that class, so keep from around you.
On one occasion, something happened.
That's classism.
That happens.
That is
That
classism.
happens. That is so too.
That's serious classes.
On
No,
one,
but it is
on
real
one
time when you
occasion,
hear it.
on one occasion,
Yeah.
something happened at school, and they called my father to the school, and he came. And after my father left, she asked me how it is that I could get my parents down here so fast for the issue.
Because they're your parents.
Yeah, Miss Lashley, God rest her soul.
No, listen.
You right here,
But
someone
let
else.
me just bring some illusion to so what you were saying in terms of teachers and bullying. This incident had came to me last week where as a child in physical education, she had asked to get some water because she was running, I think it was cross country. And the I guess so for what I understood, they asked another PE teacher about it. If they don't allow children to go and get a break,
Yeah, get water break,
they
of
say,
course.
well, they don't allow them to go because they will go and drink the
Blah,
coke
blah,
and
say
the
cola.
sodas or what's not. So this particular child now, here it is, the teacher dismissed her request for water. This child now ended up going to cross country and they sent him all some more laps around the pasture and ended up at the polyclinic, I think it was, on drips.
Seriously.
From the
Yeah,
hydration.
yeah.
A lot of these teachers don't.
But-
some of them don't think.
But
Oh.
let me flip it to the because I like to look at things in 2-4 now. That there are a number of
comments.
teachers now that are also abused, bullied by students.
Yes.
You see,
Yeah.
you see the breed of students that we send in school are not students when they don't behave like students, they behave like animals. They behave like this gang affiliation that when they come to school, because they walk both with 5 and 6, that they think that they could
Run the school.
run the school and run the teachers. And I also find that
Some of the
They-
girls even
they-
want
they-
sexually
they-
assault the female teachers.
not only that,
Yeah,
the security within the schools are bullied. But this is also when you got weak security.
Yeah.
Because your security should be trained in how to de-escalate things. Like, well, in some cases,
And
I hear that security said that they made there for the children.
No,
they there for-
exactly,
they're there for
exactly. You
school.
heard that as well.
Right?
Because I know
But-
security officers can't actually touch nobody.
Hello, that is where I'm saying now the stupid policy. If a security, I hear security guards have mentioned.
That you read beat you.
Listen,
That's what.
That's why it's tired
yeah,
chest.
yeah, but I hear that at some
That's
places,
probably you.
at some places they say that students that the security saying, I'm not there to stop the fight. I'm not there for this. I'm here to guard the plan. And so we have to know the protocol of the security. And this is where I believe that every parent should be handed a school protocol and
The school rules.
and everything. Know that to tell you the function of the principal, the
But
teachers,
that's where
the
emergency
security,
plans come into
You
play.
everything.
We in the technological age. Every parent can
Then pay me, I can do it. I anytime. I
Wait,
I make a lot of money from technology.
How many
So,
that
pay me.
they can't read here? Look at that.
But here's what, then they do videos. Because I know that a nice app could come up with the Ministry of Education where you put like tutorial
Yeah.
videos,
I'd
where
be
you
more
put things.
willing to do it.
I'd be more willing to do the app.
You should offer to up the take for Ministry of Education.
But no, I'm just saying. Here's what.
Senator Kim McConney, if you're watching, Kimar got a service.
But she knows my app because I work with the ministry. But here's my thing. The thing is that we oftentimes do not want to play catch up. What we want to play is hide and nobody don't see. You understand? Because we, and this is where I'm saying, us around this table, well, we may not have the PhD pioneer dairy bought juice, right? Today, the PhD, right? People believe that we are somewhat foolish.
It's true.
We have the education just the same way as those sitting in high offices. But one of the things that we have above a lot of people in this country that may call themselves elites is that we have influence and we're on the ground. Because we could easily come and say to the ministry, and this is thing that often I'm still baffled by when I see people saying that they're sending recommendation, but the only body they want recommendation from is unions, is this or that or the or organization. But here's what: oftentimes that's coming from 4 or 5 people inside the room, not membership. So my thing is that we need to say, where do we find the inclusion of people? And I think we need to get Crystal Howell here to talk about the Thorn Commission, because that's supposed to feed back into government. Right. But what I'm just saying is that we are people, and I've written government previous and this government where I said to them, I would like to have a position temporarily, don't need no long nothing. I like nobody that wants to suck up government, where you could give me a opportunity to look at policy as it relates to vulnerable people in this country, or property. Now, as somebody that traveled all over the world and has skill sets and knowledge, then why don't we use it? But I don't have the PhD, I don't have the EDP, GPP, or all the PPPs behind me. So at the end of the day, you're overlooked, and then they go and hire somebody outside and somebody competent to come and do something that don't think.
I can say something to you, right? And it is an indictment on this government, last government below that, before that, and the government before that. Actually, all governments in Barbados. And you just made the point. We have these skill sets in Barbados amongst our own people to actually solve every problem that exists within this country. But for some reason, as long as you look like us here, it is not correct.
And plus, something that was said too earlier, almost 2 years ago, where Clay Master was spoken about with us. He said that there was nobody here. Wherever there was nobody here to speak about, to deal with the weight loss issue, and we had no qualified Barbarians.
I disagree with that statement.
I felt so broken-hearted, disrespected, everything. This ain't nothing to do with politics and party. That statement alone, I just feel that somebody should have slapped me for that, because you got a array of finance professionals in this country. You got accounting firms. You got a lot of specialists here that, if given the opportunity, will be able to step up to the plate.
You got a luminary that just passed that couldn't do it by himself. The right honorable Simon Apple.
Good. So my point is, how you could got people in high office saying these things to a population after we had I would say we enjoy the benefits of education, free education, and then for you to come back and say something like that. So that means you insult everybody in economics, everybody in finance, and every Barbadian by a statement like that. If he's thinking that in that regard, imagine what other people in other who hold in high positions think about other persons and other fields. If you could come and say that people will overlook you because you don't have PhD and GHD or whatever, I had experiences too where I get overlooked over foolishness.
Okay,
right?
You want to share?
Not yet. I'm sure that other people in here could share experiences of how they were overlooked, because they were not either white, they were not either from a political class, they were not from
I still being overlooked?
Some sort of rich economic class. And these are the things that we got to fight in Barbados. So I want to applaud people like Lisa and persons like Stephanie, yourself, Kimar, and any other person who, without all the fanfare and without all the, that's gonna do what they gotta do, because they think Barbados changed now and we don't play Barbados no more. We play who do the work and who come forward and show interest in the affairs.
Lisa, just to get an idea of the young gentleman, DeMarco, Like any update on him on what's his story?
information.
Well,
And
from what I
stuff.
learned on Sunday, from what Stephanie has said, he is still in comatose at the QBH right now.
He's still brain.
So he
brain
has
dead.
no, he's not brain dead. He has a swelling on the brain.
The papers
Yeah,
don't
we-
report properly.
Yeah, but yeah, it
When you
comes.
bring that,
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the papers don't
but
report
he's not.
properly.
He's
then.
not that. And then
Is
one
there
thing
a
I want to touch.
possibility he will survive?
Well, we are praying. That's what we are praying for. There's a possibility he will survive. But for
We say we
those
prayers.
out there looking into the camera now, yeah, when they say this, who take it upon themselves to send up pictures of that child, saying that he's already dead,
Horrible.
and all of these different things that you're doing because they did it
Wicked.
they did it last weekend. Saturday, I got up to a post stating that the child has passed, and here it is that we're marching for justice on Sunday, and it hit me because I'm like, my God! It's only when I had asked Stephanie, "Is this true?" She's like, "Girl, you know the bitches are gonna do it." So I said, "Well, it's true," but and
But
you
it's
get
still
this.
irresponsible. Though.
It's so irresponsible for any
hurtful.
human being to sit down and to go on false reports just for likes and comments and shares.
Which is another form of bullying too.
That's the thing, because we have so, and it always goes back down to the nitty gritty of it. If we had proper, not a proper, I shouldn't say proper, but if we had a judicial system that was swift in things to get a conclusion, you will see people start to whip themselves into shit because they would know it's a consequence.
Well, Lisa, that judicial system is only swift when it comes to certain colors.
Yeah,
I will openly say that.
without showing off the colors, I think that we are we have become a very irresponsible society because of these little devices called technology and quick
Yeah.
access. I think that we have to be so careful because here's a mother hurting, here's other people that are hurting because they have also experienced it, and then we are adding to hurt because of a like and a comment and shares, and then when we do it, you know, it just goes around, and then you can't undo it as fast as it went around.
Is it throwing a
Yeah.
stone at a glass house? By the time you can't take back the stone and break that, the whole house come
Correct.
back.
Two examples quickly. We all know our previous guest Patrick, and he has some issues with Computer Misuse Act. And then another issue I want to touch on is men sharing the nudes of females.
No, this isn't the show for
Well,
that.
Another
But
show.
alright,
Another
but
show.
I just now we speaking about the context of the using the phones for bad things. I just saying that
It's a form of bullying.
is a form of
Yeah, it's
bullying.
horrible.
But women sure the nudes too. So
Any-
Vice versa,
any-
I think they do
what-
more than men. But anyways,
But any, right? I just
Amen.
think
Google
that's
what
a
you
very
need
serious.
help.
That's a very
Agreed.
serious problem in society, particularly in Barbados. We have a very small, we have small
In
circles,
Paris, the same too.
and people don't allow you to forget things so easy in Barbados.
But again, as I say, hurting people
Hurt people, hurt
people.
people.
And we have to get in the nitty-gritty of it when it comes to how people see themselves and value themselves. They have too much children and too much people out there feeling or have not dealt with rejection and who have not dealt with abandonment.
Because we don't have a lot of teaching in emotional intelligence.
That's
That's it.
Where our police and I believe people that interact with people like teachers and stuff should be. I think that we need to get
Customer
away
service.
from just the teaching the teachers how to go in and do syllabus in the
Yeah, English
classroom.
and maths. We got
And we
yeah.
need to get to the point where we know that children come to class with issues.
I don't
No,
have-
no. I have.
Yeah, right.
With like, for example, even being a boss, like you have staff that come to work with stuff,
Yeah.
and sometimes as a boss, you have to understand. You have to pull away and say, "Look, what's going on? Like something wrong," because it comes back to what is happening. So as teachers, you may see you may have 10, 15 people working with you. You have some you call it adolescent minds, if I can call it, right? In there that don't know how to control emotions,
Emotions.
don't know how to do stuff, so they get hurt. And you say they hurt others, so they don't know how to own it as like, oh, we are adults and we can say, well, look, if somebody tell me about my mother, I can walk away. But for them, they may say, well, look, my mother dead, my mother this, my mother that, my mother don't let me talk about my mother. And they don't know how to understand this themselves. And I think that's where we need to get in.
Sorry.
to add to what you said, Kimar, regarding
Which
the
Kimar?
person
Oh.
regarding the person that shared the information that the Marco had passed away. You mentioned that person also is a social media bully.
Yes.
We also have a couple of weeks before that, after the comprehensive exam,
With the youngsters.
we had a news agency who also in a form of bullying that young man like posting what they did to then bring all the different the whole effect that happened after.
But you know what you say all the time? That's what I tell myself. What the devil made a mess, God will bless.
True.
If my son didn't go through all these different things, I would be here saying, you know. And some of these things that have to happen for awareness to happen and for people to act.
Not that you want to go through it.
You don't want to go through it,
But-
but we go through things in life for a reason. And I'm so glad I was able to meet Kishan on Sunday because he was behind me when we were marching as well too. So we have to come to this generation, the 70s and 80s babies are the ones who are not pushing the things underneath the carpet like before. Before, a lot of things always push on top, but now the carpet has gotten so high now. You can't pass. You dropping over that dust. You dropping over the bowl that's underneath that carpet. So we were saying no, enough is enough.
As an advocate, right, that spent quite a few time in the media. When I first started, it was a challenge, but I don't want to say what you gotta say because the man here might be in government. He might try to stop me. He might try to do this. But then you get to see, right? And I make it this statement known. You can, as long as you open your mouth in this country, you stop already. True. And not stop that they can come and physically stop you, but they're gonna try to block everything.
Oh, let me get there. I can get there right now.
So I just want I'll respond to Jocelyn Maynard. I always wonder why Kimar is not given a chance to bring his expertise and contribution to and his knowledge to government. That is clear from the fact that one of the things, this is another form of bullying. And I'll tell you this. As young people some people have this expectation, even those in government. And I say government, I'm not talking about politicians only. People would always say the young people should bring ideas and the young people should bring this and the young people should bring that. But then we bring that, we feel more bullied than anything. And as a young man that nobody didn't give me anything, and when I say nobody give me anything, I got a family that come and say take this piece of land or take this building for the homeless. I had to fight through people, fight through class, fight through people to get where he is. Oftentimes people see that as a challenge. I remember a lady one day said to me, "You are too successful as a young man. My son is your age and he isn't where you are." And I'm like, but that's his choice. You understand?
You
and
got
she,
same education, right?
yeah, well, we had the same education. I never spent the same amount of time in class.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I was offended because I was like, hey, ma'am, I really don't care what your son do. He like you that you, the mother, you handle it. Yes, I did my stuff, but I knew when I got to a certain age, my shit had to stop. And I made a decision, and thank God for your blessings and giving me the vision to go and deal with the homeless. But from doing that also, people see you as a young person and say, look, well, you're supposed to be. I remember once meeting a minister, I won't call his name, and I went in with this guy that was on my board, and the guy was white. And for years I've been struggling to push the organization. And the minister looked around at me and tell me, I'm glad you know attach yourself to a man like this. You can get far. And I was like, what the hell?
That's not the DLP minister.
Yeah, you know, it was. It was a DLP minister. And it was like, so I was like, so you mean to tell me 8 years later, doing the work I'm doing, you gonna now come to me and tell me because a white man on my board, very well known, very well figured, he never asked me for a cup of water, that he never funded my organization, never give me anything. But you can tell me that you glad I attach myself to a man like this because I know that I had to tell that minister when I tell that get out of the office.
But Kimar, it shows you. I think it goes back to the point I was making to the whole evening. It shows you the mentality of the people we put in power at times.
But somebody you don't know it. But go ahead, Lisa, you was jumping in.
But let me go into the workplace because it could take bullying so far.
But it's so broad.
It's so broad. I can't get into the workplace. I'm talking about foreign investors coming into this island. No, Barbadians we think for some reason a foreign dollar is it. Once we have the euros, we have the US money coming in. That is us. But we do not realize the power that we have within our own soil. True. And we will take crap within our own soil for the people who are foreigners because of a dollar. And when I decided to speak out because I had an injustice done to me, and I went to the Nation newspaper and I spoke about my injustice, and I carried 2 workmates along with me. I was blacklisted and I was told, do not work back in this island again. You are going to open your own business. And that's where I turned around and built my own business from scratch.
And it's a blessing.
And it was a blessing. So I tell people all the time, when one door closes, honey, open another one.
2 or 3 doors might open.
Exactly.
But you get to see that the society is going in a different direction. And I often say this, and I'll say it again. We is who should be the politician of the future. And praying to God that we don't even change who we are.
True.
Because at the end of the day, people look at us And we oftentimes are afraid because some say we don't have the money, we don't have the name, they may give you a chance. But at the end of the day, if I saw in the last election that about 15 or 16 groups became a political party, we too, at the end of the day, even if we cannot serve in where they want we to serve in main opposition or main parliament, main parties, at the end of the day, and I don't necessarily mean that each and every one of us have to be politicians to sound our voice. But at the end of the day, some of us that are going to be influencers, some of us are going to be politicians. But this is where influence and politicians should come into play. Because the politicians can say, but the influencers can influence.
I agree.
Because the politicians are not always influencers. But at the same time, we as people need to sound our voice. I love the fact that there are rallies that are being put on. I hate the fact that there are limited turnout in them. And I think that people of Barbados need to stop being so passive and hidden. I don't care who party support. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. As I always tell my wife straight, if you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, and she can tell me the same thing.
How well publicized are the rallies at times?
That's the thing too.
Because I didn't know we rally. If I had known we rally on Sunday, I would have.
Yeah, but I had pushed it on social media, and also I'm a co-host with Versa Well 98.1 with the Advice Radio Show, and I had pushed it through there as well. But I think it was mostly the time frame of which we probably did it in that you would have not seen such of a big number. But
try to do them on a Sunday. But I always think
it was a Sunday.
But Saturdays could do too. But I think when
the Black Lives Matter rallies, those were the second one was really well attended, and I mean, and that's because I guess
thankfully the police.
Yeah, that's because the controversy that happened.
Yeah, but and that's another thing too. I find when the police stop people is getting you can't stop me because I came up just to tell the police. You can't stop me from marching with me.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, no, for me, it's not just about marching on the streets. It's about getting things happening. It's about policy change. I will march up and down Broad Street again if I have to.
But because of that march, the Black Lives Matter march on the Saturday, the government, the current government was realizing that persons were like saying, we believe in this cause. During the march, they announced that they would lay the resolution in Parliament for Black Lives Matter. And then I remember when David Denny, he said that by August 1st, there has to be a resolution on moving Nelson.
August 1st.
Well, a decision was made, and this is
the Prime Minister
this is recent information.
That is going to be moved.
The information was made was said that Nelson will be removed.
But when?
She didn't say when, but she said it.
It will be very soon, though. It will be very soon.
No. I oftentimes say march until it's done. No march until you say it's going to be done. But in fairness, we understand the government.
And let's be even fairer here, right? There was a certain minister of government who came out and said he opposed the movement of Nelson, and he got moved too.
Thing is saying here, we're in the saying here, this is probably for Lisa, that the rally was to the wrong place basically, and you should have taken it to the ministry or to the MPs or office and stuff like that next time.
But you gotta remember, you still have to respect the in Barbados you have protocols and routes.
Yeah, I think that they should normally. I am opposed to, and I would say probably if I have to, I'm opposed to the fact that you have to ask for permission to rally in Barbados and pay. I don't mind paying for the police and all of that if that's okay.
How much you got to pay?
Stephanie had it up like $700 or something.
$700.
Wow.
And then you had to pay for police.
I'm marching for my rights, and they got to pay for marching for my rights.
But the police.
I can understand.
Pay for the
access to the road and
policemen as well,
which is fine.
Escort. And also to Mr. Denny had to pay for his one as well too.
You got to pay liability and insurance and
you have to pay for it. So it's not free. You could just get them and say,
But I think it should be free to the sense where if I feel, I don't know if much marches are said yes to or no to in the sense, but I believe that the freedom of people to express should be there. They should probably charge the man that sell the fruits and tongue. He always protesting.
You mean, yeah.
I don't think
every day, boys. He already got
I used to work
Sorry, Mark.
I will be outside there every day protesting, like protesting.
Yeah, but in wrapping up though, I just say that when we think that we don't I've found in our country
A minute, Joanne.
that we think we get what we want because somebody say we get it.
Yeah.
And then we become relaxed. And when
Yeah,
we
we
become relaxed, we can't pull the train of the kind of
Exactly.
people that we pulled before. Keep the momentum going until
we
things
have to
happen.
understand.
That's
You know,
right.
keep the Johnny Walker, you keep walking, or
All the
Forrest
time.
Gump, you keep running. Something got to happen.
Yeah, it has
Right.
to.
So
Same
before
way.
we wrap up, then
Right.
Lisa, let me give you the
Final comments, Lisa.
comments on anything you want to express to
Wait.
people. If any are coming for
Marches.
marches.
Right, they want to join.
For sure, we will be advertising if there are any upcoming marches. But for right now, our focus is to get parents involved in rearing and raising their children properly. As I said before, we have to start with parenting. Parents should be parented before they start to parent. And it starts within here, within the womb, and learn to address issues as they come along. Also, too, we need to look at the consequences of if in primary schools, not only in secondary schools, in primary schools. From the age from the time you know right from wrong, there should be consequences. Either if it's the child or it's the parent, there should be consequences within our judicial system within a swift manner, and not wait till when the child get 20 or 30 and then you're getting some sort of consequences. So as I say, so we're addressing the problem and we're also addressing the solution. We have to address the parents and how they are functioning within the household, and we also look at the solution of the legislation of which we have mandated in our primary schools. And there should be protocols in regards to bullying with teachers and with children.
I agree.
What's up here? Put here just adults need to stop bullying. Adults need to stop bullying each other, so that's good. And then you'll probably see less behavior from the children. So we approve of that. Simon, any other teacher? Any final words on this here as well?
I think it goes back to policy. I think that's the main thing. And what we recognize from the discussion with Lisa is that sadly, sometimes, although the ministry may have a policy, the school takes on the culture of the leader. So if you have a principal that's very laid back, or you have a principal that's not very proactive when it comes to dealing with student issues, you would always have grievances that are not dealt with or that are swept under the rug. I think too that we have to consider the fact that going forward, we gotta make sure that we look at how minors, if not can be charged, we have to look at how parents and minors, the whole issue of mediation is important, so litigation doesn't occur. Where instances where children are being bullied, you're able to have mediation with the parents, the victim, as well as the perpetrator, the bully, so that you can get it resolved before it goes to another level.
Okay, any buzz?
The one thing I guess I would like to say is that I would hope that after watching this program tonight, that persons who have children would go and sit down with their children and have a serious conversation and say, look, if you are being bullied at school, let me know.
Or if you're a
And
bully,
if you are a bully, please stop it.
Stop it out.
Keep it hands to
you know,
myself.
Yeah, because it is not easy as a parent to have to deal with a child who has been more or less unfeared by another child, and knowing within yourself that there is really nothing that you can do to the actual perpetrator.
Yeah.
I think that children are no longer children anymore. I think as soon as they could open their eyes, we put a tablet right in their hands. Not saying anything is wrong with technology, but we put the tablet in and we don't monitor
Yeah, what they're watching.
what they're watching.
True.
So in case we venture into other things that are not conducive to their health, mentally, socially, anything. And then at school you have influences of other persons who otherwise basically are in traumatic environments, 5% anything. And that spill off allows your children to pick up behaviors that are not of them or not of you as a parent. So then what do you do when your child is doing things that are not of you or not how you raise them?
That's right.
So that comes back down to the fact of parents getting involved in the lives of children, knowing who the friends are, paying more attention to the kids. Well, they understand that things are hard now and people have to be working, so they can't pay as much attention to the child as they would like. There's still avenues for you to be there, for you to pay attention. So the neighbor that you wasn't talking to before, start to speak back to the neighbor and get the neighbor to pay some attention to the child. The lady that said it's not so say the school that you to walk past every evening and no one see nothing to, she see the child every day and she could observe and tell you some things about the kid's behavior. getting involved with the teacher outside the PTA. That's very important. Also getting to know some of the other children in the class and basically understanding the environment that the children are in, because not necessarily about the child, but
True.
it's what's being fed into the mind of the child from his peers.
External forces.
And basically is your diet, not only food, but we still gotta get the children off of the conquerors and all that stuff too, right? So basically your diet, which will be your spiritual diet, being active, because I've seen that a lot of kids now starting to become obese too. Right? We kids don't be outside like one time.
The rata burst on
Right.
that.
So we don't get the kids riding bicycles as much as before, and basically being children. So we gotta get back to that.
All right, I just want to say thanks to the viewers tonight. Thanks for having you, Lisa Neblett, on.
Thank
Lisa.
you.
We'll be glad to have you
Lisa.
back again. We will
Thank
also
you.
like to have some updates what's going on with
Yes,
your
please.
son
Yes, please.
case, and also with what's other going on with you and
Next
the
time.
whole
Sure.
group that you're in.
And thank you very much for the initiation.
Again, thanks for having us tonight on DeBrief. You can look out for us next week Tuesday at 6 p.m. And anything to add, Kimura?
No, nobody got anything coming up.
When we can start having that show on Saturday? So I have that.
We discussed
All right,
that.
that's a lot, but you'll see.
Probably
Sorry.
very sure start, baby.
Good night, everyone.
But everybody,
Thanks,
good night.
Thank you.
One more time. Big Stephanie one more time.
Stephanie, cheers.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, and all you guys, we can just ask you to
All the
share,
product
like. If
comments.
you are watching us, please don't leave us unless you follow us or like our page, so that when we come live every
Subscribe.
single Tuesday, we've been doing this since last year religiously. We want you to know we are live, so please follow us, like us. We will see you next week Tuesday again. I'm Kimar Safri. The Manny Small is on my right. Simon Aline, Kimar Stewart, Jermaine Bedford, and our special guest Lisa Neblett. So have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Blessings.